Hi everyone. I've just been out for a nice blast on the bike, just to see what it's like with the old flat bars again. Yeah, I'm liking it with the flat bars. It's just so much fun to throw around with it like that. So yeah, so that's just been a bit of a test ride just to make sure everything was bolted on. But yeah, that was pretty good. Had a bit of an ulterior motive as well. Well, here anyway, it's a nice day, so I thought I'd go for a bit of a tear around and also go on a bit of a shopping list, ready to move on with the old Bonneville America, and try and get a bit more ahead with that. So what have we got to show you? Yeah, so I've gone out and I've purchased the thinnest cutting discs I can, because ultimately I'm going to want to take and always smoke near petrol tanks, kids. Take the tabs and the wings off here, so the last lot of discs I've got some show somewhere. Oh, they're under there. They're fine for just doing rough work. They were £1 for about 10, so it gives you an idea of the quality of them. They're not precision instruments, so I wanted some nicer discs just to make a better cut on that. What else we got? Also, the number plate arrived, so that I think will. I mean, I've turned it around, but I'm sure you've all seen the number plate before now. I'm not really sure if it's worth hiding number plates these days, but it's not the greatest angle. But that. Trust me when I say that's. I think that's going to be the right size. You're not going to invite a pull from the plod on that. But it's not as ridiculously huge as the last one, so that seems to fit quite nicely, so that'll go on. Indicators haven't arrived yet, hopefully they should be here tomorrow. And then when I was out, I went to my little bolt place and picked up a couple of M12 bolts and a bag of nylon nuts. So it wasn't very expensive, a couple of £. So I'm going to take the tank off and just see if losing. If we have a look, let's put it on the back of the plate so we can pick this up. That's our standard engine mount bolts, and that's our other ones. The minimum I need, I can get away with, is at 80mm, which is what these are. So I'll have no excess thread hanging through. The nylock nuts are a bit thinner there, they're not shouldered. So I've lost a fair bit of, well, not a fair bit, but a few mil from there and a bit there. So I'll see in a minute whether or not that is enough to allow the tank just to slide on, and happy days. What was the other really exciting thing? Oh yeah, while I was out and about, I went past Maplin's and picked up another one of these connectors. If any of you have got like an Optimate or whatever, I've got my charging point sort of wired onto the bike. It's a bit more awkward on this one. I keep meaning to pick up a second one, but really you can only use one Optimate at a time. But I want to charge up Jen's battery. It's been inside since the bike's been off the road, but it's always nice to juice it up. So I'm just going to extend the wires and stick some crocodile clips on that, so we can make sure we've got a fully charged battery when it comes to testing everything out. Because obviously we've got to see if the light's working in here, if all this is working, if the rear brake light, when I wire that in, is all working, and the indicators as well. They're LED ones, and I'm fairly sure in my bits box, one of my bits boxes over there, I've got a relay, so I can just switch the actual main relay round rather than put inline resistors in. So yeah, so lots of little twiddly little jobs to be getting on with. So soldering irons warming up. I think they're first thing I'm going to do is just take this tank off and slide these bolts on, and just see if that's going to work. So fingers crossed. I'll have a bit of a tidy up and get going.
Go. Let's clean solder joints. Couple of wee bits of heat shrink. Put a shitload of solder in there. Make sure this little bad boy ain't going nowhere.
I'm just in the light a bit, so where we're at now, we have our positive and negative crocodile clips ready just to clip onto the battery. I think these are called a Tamiya connection. I'll have to look that up and double check it, but yeah, a couple of quid from Maplin's. Yeah, just added the extra wires on for a bit of length. So next thing to do now is I'll go and grab the battery and hook it up and see if anything explodes. So I shall pause it there while I run inside and get a battery. Right, so we've got the battery, we've got the again that's connected to the Optimate. This one's also had one of my old bodges done, just because I've had it for years, and it's a bit dark in it, sorry. They tend to get a bit of abuse, they're not the strongest connections. Right, so let's go that way and that one, and then plug it in. And what we got? We got the test and charge. Right, so if after I've reviewed the footage and the little farting around I did with the crocodile clips and all that is of any interest, then that'll be in it. Otherwise this will be the start. But I'm now wiring in the side mount light. Spinning around for you. So there we go. I am absolutely no electrical genius whatsoever, so I am literally, through trial and error, have managed to work out by touching certain wires together which ones work. So from the shotgun light, I know that the black wire goes to the black wire on the loom, the red wire goes to the yellow wire, and then I'm sure you can work out where I'm going with this. So far I've just done the two. I'll put the camera down here. It's a bit tricky doing this one-handed, but cut myself a bit more of my auto cable and extend the loom a little bit more. Try to put the camera down here. Or there we go. See if that gets anything. give myself a fair bit of wire to play with at the moment, just so I can decide. I've got enough to decide which way I'm going to run it or rate it back up, so it's all hidden up here. Should do the job. It's all a little bit Joe budget, but there we go. Tin the wire first. I would have had a bit more of this done the other day, but ended up taking a ride down to the Ace Caff and meeting up with a few fellow YouTubers and just a couple of me general biking mates. So hi to Graham, great to meet you, mate, brilliant. And I've been on the forum this morning, looks like the 13th's on, so hopefully a load of us will get together and have a good old laugh then. The old Dan Sarf meet. Yeah, so the pressure's on a little bit to get this going. Otherwise Jen ain't going to be a happy bunny. Right, I'll just zoom in here as well, just to show you my cack-handed efforts. These always come with bullet connectors normally, which never fit the bullet connectors that I normally have. I'm being completely lazy. All I'm doing is stripping the one and tinning the one wire, pushing it up through the other bullet connector, filling the whole lot with solder, so that's rock solid, and then putting a load of heat shrink around it. I'm sure there's 101 better ways of doing it, but as I said, I'm not an electrician. I'm not an electrician. I'm just the monkey in the shed. A reasonably strong joint, and we all like a nice strong joint. Okay, a bit of heat shrinky. So now I'm going to have a bit of a dig around in me bits and pieces box. I tend to, where are we? When I'm pulling bits apart, as we all do, we always keep, crap like this. You know, this old tubing that comes off your bike. I've got some of this cool stuff. So I'm going to have a bit of a rummage through here, see what I've got. So I don't want it to be too pikey looking. I want it to be reasonably nice. But the plan is going to be sleeve it up to the top there. Maybe a wee P clip there just to hold it down flush. And I am just going to run it along the swing arm. Another P clip there where the chain guard is, and then up the frame rail here and hidden behind there. That way it's nowhere near the chain when that's going. It's easy to access if there's any problems, and that's the best solution I can come up with at the moment. I could go a bit more fancy, but you're just not really going to see it. You know, it's just going to be black and cable tied on. So I shall turn off for a second while I root through my box of bits and see what I can come up with. Right, okay, I've just stuck the battery on now. All the wiring's sort of done and tidied up, so I'll show you that in a second. But this really is the moment of truth, to see whether or not any of the wiring from that's all working. See if that's working. I've not bolted the battery in, I've just kind of stuck the terminals over it for now. So here we go, fingers crossed.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. So we know the neutral light is working full beam. Yep, that's working. Indicators aren't plugged in yet. We have illumination on the speedo. Obviously no front light on yet. And, oh yes, I can see. Well, we definitely have running rear lights. Let's see if I can stretch and test the brakes. Yep, front brake, rear brake. So that's good news. Everything's working as it should be. Hurrah! Jump over the bike a bit. So this is what it's looking like now. I've found in my box of bits one of those like little rubber boots you put over an indicator. I only had one spare, so that's gone on with that sleeved. And then that's a bit dark, isn't it? Hang on, let's get my torch. So here we go. So that's just one of those indicator boots there. I had one knocking around, so that's just tried to make it look a bit tidy. All the wiring sleeved, cable tied. I had a P-clip there to keep it nice and tidy. And it just runs along the swing arm. The sleeving's a bit chunkier than I would have liked, but as you know, I'm running on a budget, so it's what I've got. Use what you got. And then it runs up the inside of the frame here, and then push bosh into there. So no danger of any chafing on the train or anything like that. And you know, you don't really notice it that much. You know, we're not talking Exile Cycles hidden wiring style by any means, but I think it's in keeping with the kind of look that this bike's going to have. It's, you know, ain't sort of show winning, is it? It's just something a bit different. But cool, there we go. So that's probably it for today, really. Not really that interesting, just a bit of soldering and wiring and stuff. Next up, do the indicators and a bit more work on the tank to get that to fit. Still a bit tough that can't remember if I've shown you, but I had some shorter bolts, still getting a bit of clearance issues, so might have to widen the tank a touch, but we'll see. But I'm sure I'll put a video up before then, but if not, anyone who's doing the Ace on the 13th, see you down there. Alright, take care.